Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Andra Makes. Today I'm going to be sharing about New Look 6197. I made this for my son, so if you're interested in sewing a relatively easy shirt for the fella in your life, I highly recommend this one. And here is the pattern envelope. It's a camp style shirt, which I believe means the collar does not have a collar stand, so that makes it really great for beginners or intermediate sewists if you haven't done a collar stand yet. And as you can see, the men's version, the hem is straight across, and then on the ladies version it has a slightly curved hem. And I made view A, but I did not put pockets on it. And I was inspired to make a shirt for my son by my friend Christine from Christine Sews a Lot, and I'll put a link to her channel in the description box. But she showed a shirt that she made for someone in her life. I can't remember if it was her husband or son or who, but anyway, it was made from Baby Yoda fabric, and I thought to myself, my son would love something like that. He loves Star Wars. I didn't end up using Star Wars fabric, but I'll show you what I used in just a second. And he loves this just as much. And then after I bought this pattern, I was thinking, I think my friend Carol from Sew Carol has made this exact pattern for her husband. And I'll put a link to her channel in the description box also. So I sent her a message and I was like, is this the pattern you used for your husband's shirt? And she's like, yes. So I asked her if she had any tips or anything like that. And she said it was a fabulous pattern as is. But she did make a couple changes to fit her husband's body type. I think she maybe made the collar less wide and did something else. I can't remember. But anyway, I didn't have to make any changes for the one I made for my son. I did find a mistake in the pattern instructions, and I'm going to be showing that to you as well. And now I'm going to show you the pattern pieces. And there is one pattern piece that is included in this pattern that I absolutely love. I wish all button-up shirts would come with this pattern piece, and I think it's the last pattern piece. I'm going in numerical order, of course, but pattern piece 1 is the front. And then pattern piece 3 is the front and back yoke. And then pattern piece 4 is the back. And pattern piece 6 is the collar. Pattern piece 7 is the front facing. And then pattern piece 5 is the sleeve. And here's my absolute favorite. Pattern piece 9 is the buttonhole guide, but you use this after your shirt is sewn. You place that on your completed this on your completed shirt where it's already been sewn together, and then you mark your buttonholes. I love this. It is so much easier than trying to do it in the beginning when you first start marking and cutting your pattern pieces. I absolutely love that. I wish every button-up shirt would have that pattern piece. Okay, now I'm going to show you the mistake in the instructions. And I'll pop up a picture right here so you can see what I'm talking about. And it's step number 6. It says, with right sides together, pin back to yoke, matching centers. Okay, all is well. Then it says, stitch front to yoke at forward shoulder seams and press seams toward the yoke. It never says to sew the back to the yoke. So I read those instructions and I'm like, what kind of yoke is this? I'm like, do we sew the back to the yoke at another step in the pattern instructions? So I read through the entire thing, and sure enough, no. There's no written instruction that says to sew the back to the yoke. It tells you to pin it, but not to sew it. And it does show it sewn in the illustration. But if you have never sewn a shirt before, if you're fairly new to sewing, you would have no idea to go ahead and sew that. So I thought that was interesting. So heads up, if you sew this pattern, you do want to go ahead and sew the back to the yoke. But if you have that pattern, check and see if your instructions omit that as well. I made the size large for my son, and for reference, he is 6'2". He has very broad shoulders, a broad back, and a long torso. Now, I will be inserting pictures of him wearing it so you can get an idea of the fit there, but here's the shirt I made him. I used Avengers fabric. He is a huge fan of Marvel, and I got this fabric from Hobby Lobby. It's a quilting cotton, which is a really good choice for this pattern, I think. And then there is the straight hem. And then here's the back. The back is really nice with a yoke, and then it also has a pleat in the back. And I'll get in close, hopefully you can see it. There's the pleat. I don't know if you can tell with the busy fabric. That's a really nice touch. And one fun thing I did is when I saw this fabric, I thought it would be so fun to use different colored buttons. Oh, and that's another change that I made. The pattern calls for 1/2 inch buttons, but the ones I got were a little bit larger than 1/2 inch. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to use different colored buttons. So when I went to look at the buttons, I was hoping that they had a multi-pack of different colored buttons, so I didn't have to buy individual packs of one color and then just get one button from each of those sets. And they did have a multi-pack that was perfect for this shirt, and I'll show them to you one by one. This one is a more lighter purpley color, and then the next one is yellow, which is super fun, and then there's a red, and then we get it up here, the really fun Hulk green color. And then the bottom one, it looks very similar to the top one, but it is a different shade. And let me get them close together so you can see the difference. There we go. One has a little bit more blue in it, maybe. So I thought that was a fun touch for this. And now here are some pictures of my son wearing his shirt. So I highly recommend this pattern if you're looking to sew a shirt for a man in your life. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.